Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to go over AWS Global Infrastructure. We're going to understand what are AWS regions. We're going to understand what are AWS availability zones and what exactly is a data center. So let's start. So AWS regions refers to AWS resources in a specific geographic location. Currently, AWS spans 22 geographic regions with 70 availability zones around the world, and there's announcement for plans for 15 more availability zones, also known as AZs, and 5 more AWS regions in Indonesia, Italy, Japan, South Africa, and Spain. So when an enterprise wants to launch an application, they need to decide that where exactly are their core group of users located, and depending upon where their core group of users are located, they should just choose a specific geographic location, also known as the AWS region, based on which region is closest to their core group of users. So that's how any uh, client using AWS services should decide which AWS region to use. There are also 205 edge locations and 11 regional edge caches. Edge locations serve requests for CloudFront and Route 53. CloudFront is a content delivery network, while Route 53 is a DNS service. Requests going to either one of these services will be routed to the nearest edge location automatically. This allows for low latency no matter where the end user is located. So what that means is, the benefit of CloudFront is if the web server is based in America, however the user who is accessing this service is currently located in suppose Japan. Now, instead of the request being routed each time to the web server all the way to America, which creates high latency instead of low latency, most of the static content like HTML, CSS, JavaScript could be just stored in the edge location. So this ensures that the user in Japan would be able to access the static content through the edge location, and this ensures low latency no matter where the end user is located. So as discussed above, you service users which are closest to the AWS geographic region. So what are AWS availability zones? AWS availability zones are data centers within a geographic region. Each AWS region, like the one shown here, consists of multiple isolated and physically separate availability zones within a geographic area. There are a minimum of 2 availability zones per geographic region. There are plans from AWS to have at least 3 availability zones, but currently only certain AWS regions, like those in the US, have 3 availability zones. So currently each geographic region has a minimum of 2 availability zones. AWS customers design their applications to run in multiple AZs. This helps their applications achieve high availability, greater fault tolerance, and scalability. And the reason is this: because availability zones are physically isolated data centers, and you could design your enterprise application to have multiple EC2 instances and databases stored across these availability zones within the AWS region. Now, if for any reason one of the availability zone were to go down, for example like a power outage, so what will happen is the requests could then be routed away from AZ2 to AZ1 and AZ3. So this would ensure that that the application achieves high availability and greater fault tolerance. And the scalability is also achieved where if assuming all your EC2 instances and your database were only in 2 availability zones, then if the number of requests grow because your users and the number of people downloading your application increases, then you could increase the number of applications in another availability zone, and that way you achieve scalability in the AWS availability zones. So finally, what is a data center? Each availability zone is actually simply a data center. A data center is where all the physical machines are kept. So ultimately, AWS Global Infrastructure is nothing but physical machines which are a data center, and the data center itself refers to availability zones, and there are multiple availability zones located in AWS regions, and these AWS regions are located globally, and that is how AWS clients can access AWS cloud services globally wherever they are. Thank you.